everyone, welcome to QA Labs for you. I hope you're all safe and healthy. This is another episode of QA Samvaad Season 2. Today we have a special guest who is having around 20 years of experience into QA, and he is also a founder of AI Test Group. So without wasting any more time, I'm just calling Imran Ali on the show. Hi Imran, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
All good. So Imran, for our audience, if you could introduce yourself a little bit, that would be better, I think.
Yeah, sure. So my name's Imran Ali. So I'm the founder of AI Test Group. So essentially, after 20 odd years in QA, I've been focused on trying to help teams from trying to sort their scripts out to more AI powered self-healing pipelines that turn requirements into tested deployable software. So I stayed in tech support. Um, and then moved into QA, learned to prevent problems instead of trying to react to them. And testing allowed me to embrace that. And over the years, I realized QA is really kind of like a disciplined risk management tied into the business outcomes. And today, my passion is try and transform QA from a cost center into a competitive advantage, where we try and build systems where AI handles the routine mechanics, and we focus on risk, strategy, and creativity.
Great. So, Imran, like you have 20 years of experience, so you have seen major changes in QA also, right? So, could you share those changes? Right now, we can see AI, but before that, there must be some different changes, right?
Yeah. So I would say that I've lived in three different eras. Okay, the first one, manual QA.
Okay.
So we know about this. We used to have, the old way of working, phased development, phased testing. So the old kind of waterfall model, if you like. Yeah. So manual QA, slow, human driven. Then agile came along and tried to improve and give us efficiency. But a lot of it was still manual. Then automation frameworks came in, massively changed things, allowed for faster testing with automated pipelines. It was faster, but we were still seeing it being fragile. And now we're entering what we call the AI-driven era, rather, where quality becomes proactive.
Right.
Yeah, so CI/CD, if you like, gave us speed, but the AI gives us more understanding. So we can now define intent and let agents generate, run, and maintain those tests automatically. I'd say the biggest cultural shift has been that realizing testers don't get replaced so much, but we leverage the tools given to us. For they were saying, automation is going to replace testers, but actually testers use automation, and that gave more time for testing the UI or other parts of the system from a domain specific point of view, exploratory point of view. So I think it gives time for those areas, and I think we leverage the tools rather than those tools replacing us. Agree
with your thoughts, Imran here. So in 2025, what all skills do you think is most important for someone who is going to enter into QA or who is already into QA? Because survival is most important for all of us, right?
Yeah. So I think at the moment, this year, next year, we need to really focus on the way we prompt and critically think. Okay. So like every QA is going to need to act like almost like a test architect, because we have these AI tools available to us, but we need to direct those AI tools, review the output, and make sure that there's guardrails in place also. Okay. So it's kind of using the AI tools and directing more than anything else. So it's not so much now about code. You don't need to know all the code syntax, but it's about asking the sharper questions and prompting and understanding the whole picture as a whole.
Imran, you were saying about coding, like we need to understand the syntax, right? And that's it, because cursor is there, GitHub Copilot is there. They can code it very easily. There are so many AI powered editors also, right? So do you think now coding is a soft skills, not a hard skill anymore?
Yeah, I would say that you still need to know the basics of coding. One of the big issues that we find is people that are using AI to generate code, and we know that over half of the big companies' code is being generated by AI.
Right.
The issues arise when we try to fix a problem, try to refactor, or try to solve an issue within the code that we don't know about because we've used AI to generate that code. So therein lies the issue. It's all good and well to generate it and use it, but
Mhm.
it's then later on when you're trying to understand it, if you have used AI,
Mhm.
you are not going to understand.
Right.
And so I think there still needs to be a background of the coding principles and understanding. So I think that's why you'll find tech guys are still going to be way ahead. And this is not magic. It's not like, someone just using AI just to be able to code, because that's one element of it. The other part is understanding it and fixing it and enhancing it. And you can't always do that with AI.
Right.
Or at least you can't do that fully
Mhm.
and thoroughly, especially for release production level code.
So in short, we can say basics is most important, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, okay, fine. And Imran, like you are right now focusing on AI part, but you have also started with functional, then automation, right? So how you have upskilled yourself into AI? That I want to understand.
Yeah, sure. So I think there's a few different things.
Mm-hmm.
One is try to read as many of the AI testing articles as you can.
Okay.
There's many good courses online to be able to give you good knowledge. Coursera has some good ones on Udemy. Whatever's on YouTube available for you to learn and soak up. Try to find out about the cutting edge
Mm-hmm.
tools, and then you start playing with them. So start playing with them, like Playwright's obviously one of the key ones out there in terms of UI automation, but learn how MCP server works. Understand, things like RAG and LangChain and how those things are orchestrated within the IO workflows. So I think there's a lot of stuff out there. In terms of articles and videos, free and paid. And I think it's even the paid ones are not that expensive you can buy a course for $25, $30. That gives you a good understanding. If you practice those principles that you've learned and apply them, then I think you can try to get a big advantage over those who don't.
Got it. So Imran, I agree right now, like on YouTube, Udemy, Coursera, everywhere, lot of courses are available with AI, right?
Mhm.
Whether it's QA or dev, right? But it would be hard to understand which one is promising because I have seen so many like creators are also just using AI to sell their courses, right? So if you can share some of the instructors who are good into this AI part, especially for the testing, because we are talking about testing. You have like completed some of the courses. If you have some names, that would be better for us. We can also try to search and enroll and learn things from them.
Yeah, sure. So some of the guys I found useful. Rahul Shetty has got some good ones. I'm sure you've heard his name. He's quite popular, especially in India.
Yeah.
Karthik is also very good
Yeah.
from Execute Automation.
Mhm.
He's got some very good courses. Both of them, I think, have some good courses on AI testing in Udemy
Mhm.
and Coursera.
Mhm.
So Andrew NG,
Yeah.
he has got some very good courses on there, which give a very, very deep dive into AI. Those three will be names that would be
So
worth looking into.
yeah, I agree. In order to do certifications, I have seen ISTQB also has launched some of the AI specific certifications, right? So do you think completing those certification can also add value in the career?
So look, I think this all depends
Mm-hmm.
on how much value those. So I myself have done the one of the courses, which is more theory side of it for ISTQB. So it was around using AI within testing.
Mm-hmm.
They have now launched a new one. I think it's called generative AI within QA. I found the course I did very theory based. Practically for stuff that we're doing with AI test group, it wasn't that useful or applicable.
Mm-hmm.
shall I say? And I've not seen these being asked for in the job industry at the moment. So the answer to your question is, if they are being asked for
Mm-hmm.
in job roles, then I think it's worth doing. If you are taking them to have an understanding of AI within QA, I think there are quicker and better ways of doing that. I think through other courses. But if these are being required as prerequisites or good to have for jobs, then I think it's worth trying to add them. But I think at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
don't overly worry about trying to do these certifications. I would more advise testers to just dive in
Mm-hmm.
and get dirty with the AI tools and use them firsthand themselves.
Okay. Thanks, Imran. So, Imran, in your intro, you talked about AI test group, and I have seen in your profile also you are a founder of that group. I just want to understand the mission behind this test group.
Yeah, so around 6 months ago,
Mm-hmm.
I saw the big movement within the agentic AI in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wanted to get involved heavily
Mm-hmm.
in that side of things. I've got a big interest within AI and how we can use it for QA in particular. So our mission is to transform QA
Mm-hmm.
into a strategic advantage for companies.
Oh,
Okay. So the mission is we want to automate the entire life cycle from requirements to test generation
okay.
to automation runs, automation scripts, test reports, create bugs, be able to use that automation code within CI/CD. Every single thing
Mm-hmm.
that a tester has been doing, is doing currently,
Mm-hmm.
we want to be able to do that using agents. The testers on the ground can focus more on the strategy, exploring the high risk areas, and being able to use their domain knowledge to really thoroughly test with the time that previously wasn't afforded to them. So that's the mission. So we want to be able to really leverage the power of the agents to do everything that a tester would do, and that is our mission.
You talked about strategy, right? And right now AI is everywhere. I was just thinking, do we need to upgrade our this test strategy in AI era also?
Definitely. So look, any company that isn't adopting this in their engineering
Mm-hmm.
process is going to fall behind or
Mm-hmm.
going to die. Yeah. So the leverage that you get from the AI usage is to really speed up and to give you, in many cases, more accuracy. If you are not doing those two things,
Mm-hmm.
then you are going to be behind your competitor who is. So it's plain and simple. If you don't have the AI strategy inbuilt, then you are already falling behind. So what does that mean? Across the board, using the likes of Cursor or Copilot
Mm-hmm.
or Claude to be able to write their code more efficiently. Testers are using those tools to be able to write the automation
Mm-hmm.
scripts. But if we can use these kind of AI platforms,
Mm-hmm.
workflows to not only write those scripts, but test scenarios,
Mm-hmm.
automation runs,
Mm-hmm.
create the automation script from the runs, and then use that as a guide to be able to put into your frameworks
Mm-hmm.
and have AI help to create the bugs and give you guidance on the high risk areas in your code, then I think this is not only going to speed up testing, but also it's going to give much more coverage
Mm-hmm.
uh, and in some ways more accuracy, taking away some of the human error as well.
But Imran, one thing that is coming into my mind right now, you said about accuracy coverage, right? So when we use AI, how we can ensure about this coverage and accuracy in order to create the test cases or code generation or bug creation, how we can ensure that part? We have to do it manually, or is there any some specific set of tools that we can use and ensure, yeah, these coverage are done? How we should do that?
That's a very good question. So, um, if you look at the way the AI test group platform has been designed,
Mm-hmm.
we appreciate the human intervention,
Mm-hmm.
human interaction is really, really critical, right? So we don't just leave the AI to just start and finish.
Mm-hmm.
We get involved to do the checks in between. So, for example, if we pass in a story and test scenarios get created from that, we want to check that those scenarios are indeed correct,
Mm-hmm.
broadly speaking. So, there's no hallucination happening. There's no, a crazy output. So there is that check from the human at that point. Same way when we go into the automation runs, the automation scripts, the reports and bugs. So the main heavy lifting is done by the AI,
Mm-hmm.
but the tester or an engineer can go and just give it a once over and check this is not rubbish or garbage coming out. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that is important to have that very quick skim through. And what you can do is you can pass the output into another
Mm-hmm.
model to review and check, and then the final check can be done by someone in the team.
Mm-hmm.
So to answer your question, there needs to be some kind of validation, but it is validation rather than doing things from scratch, which will save you the time.
Right. So, I understand the importance of AI. We have to use AI in our testing. I want to understand what all tools or platform we can use to leverage AI in testing. Is there any specific set of tools or platforms, open source or paid, available in the market that you can suggest?
I would suggest if you can get familiar
Mm-hmm.
with using Hugging Face,
Okay.
that'll be important for you to get the open source AI tools.
Mm-hmm.
LangChain is very important to master
Mm-hmm.
because the AI workflow, you need to be able to understand
Mm-hmm.
LangChain.
Okay.
So I think, and have a very good understanding of RAG. So RAG, retrieval augmented generation,
Mm-hmm.
is the superpower that we leverage. We found that look, the LLMs super powerful, super useful, but they are generic. Okay, so it's like you're passing information into this supercomputer, which gives you the power,
Mm-hmm.
but you lack the specificity. The LLM is not going to have your domain knowledge. It's not going to have your credentials.
Right.
It's not going to have your data, user manuals, etc. So that information can be fed into what we call the RAG,
Mm-hmm.
which is basically vector databases. So you're going to chunk up all your information, all your bespoke data and information, and then you're going to index that
Okay.
and get it out as and when for the LLM to use. And that combination is going to be super powerful to give you the output, which is accurate and domain specific. And that's what we focus at AI Test Group. Try and leverage those two things within a workflow that's all orchestrated by LangChain.
Imran, one misconception I have seen about RAG, you can clarify over here. Like, as you said, LLMs are generic in nature. We can provide the knowledge based on our like project or domain, right? So when we like add the data, insert the data, right? So that data would share in the public domain also. From security point of view, I just want to understand.
That's an excellent question. So all the information
Mhm.
for the RAG will be held on the client side. So we are using and leveraging the LLMs. There is, of course, the risk that that some of that information is going to be held in the LLM.
Mhm.
But I can't believe that this is not going to be resolved by GPT or Gemini and Claude longer term because everyone's going to be using this kind of approach, right? So they need to come up with some kind of secure assurance and maybe separate what's held on the client side and on their side, maybe using encryption technologies or the like. So the answer to your question is, of course, there is a risk to some degree, but I can't believe that this is not going to be mitigated by the big companies.
Okay, this RAG is clear to me. One thing I want to clarify from you, it's related to LLM. Basically, we have seen like Anthropic, OpenAI has developed their coding specific models, right? So, as a tester or as a dev, which model we should use. That is also like a problem for QA and dev. So what do you think, how we should pick which one would be better? Like I have seen someone was saying Sonnet is better, and someone is saying OpenAI like models are better. So which model we should take for automation or dev purpose?
I think there is no kind of,
Mhm.
best model as such. It's more, what is it that you want to use it for, right? And also what your needs. So I found personally that Claude is pretty good on the technical code side of things.
Mhm.
So if I want an answer to do with technical questions, I personally use Claude. I use GPT
Mhm.
for a lot of the generic questions. Some of the more deep research, I find Manus to be pretty good. So I think it depends on what kind of answer you're looking for, the type of output, and the level of output that you're looking for. As well, so I think forget the hype. Just start with your use case. Look at that use case and try and pick a model. And then also don't just stick to one model. You can use different models and get a combination from them.
Thanks for the input. And next thing which I want to understand about LLM testing. I have seen on LinkedIn so many posts about this LLM testing. So what all skills are required for LLM testing? Like how QA can move towards that direction, that I want to understand.
Yeah, so LLM testing is obviously very different to the regular testing. So
Mhm.
you can imagine if you pass in a question right now to ChatGPT and ask the same question, exactly the same question 5 times, you're going to get 5 different answers,
Agree.
and that is on purpose as well, because there is no exact answer that it gives out. So if the output is not predictable, then how do we test, right? So it's not just straight input output. So it's very different. So I would say that you need to learn, and this is something that the course in the ISTQB is useful for. But it talks about some of the different types of testing that you need to do. Probabilistic testing, prompt design, adversarial testing, reasoning, hallucination, be able to use RAGAS for technologies, for example, or deep eval. These are technologies that are very useful for this kind of testing. So I'd say learn those, go and try to research and understand. But I think this is going to be the way forward. If you have those skills,
Mhm.
this is going to be very much in demand over the next couple of years.
Okay, and the next thing which I have seen on LinkedIn again, that is AI agents, right? So much popular right now. Even Playwright has like recently launched their planner, generator, and healer agents, right? So if a QA wants to test such agents, how QA can do that? Like when Playwright has released these agents, must be someone has tested what I'm thinking, right? So what could be the approach in that case?
I think you need to have domain insight and probably adversarial mindset as well. So you need to understand the agent, how that works. You aren't testing the code now, but you're going to be testing the reasoning. So you want to understand the reasoning chains and the kind of the insight and the complex flows. So I think it's really understanding those, how the agent works, how it's put together, and the workflow. I think those things would definitely help.
And especially in Playwright, I want to understand like Playwright is upgrading themselves very frequently, right? So do you think this Playwright would become a next Selenium for QA?
I think it already has. I think if you look now,
Mm-hmm.
certainly in this AI era,
Mm-hmm.
Playwright is probably the most stable modern base for multi-browser automation.
Mm-hmm.
And its true power is really combined with the AI agents that generate and self-heal. I would say Playwright has taken that mantle from Selenium as we speak right now, and I think it will continue to do so over the next year for sure.
Okay, so we have talked about AI, how we can use AI. We talked about AI agents, RAG, everything. I just want to understand about limitation of AI in testing.
Yeah, so there's look, AI isn't some kind of magic dust that we just sprinkle on and everything becomes perfect. There is going to be a phase where we go through
Mm-hmm.
where we have to spend a lot of time integrating it with our working process. So what that means is that there's going to be a lot of teething issues, and a lot of people are going to lose patience. I was talking to someone just recently. They were trying to implement AI within their tests and dev lifecycle, and they said by the end of it, they just realized it was quicker to start all over again and do everything without the AI. Now, I think that's probably an extreme position. I think the AI process is definitely helping and leveraging, and being able to leverage that allows us to work at speed. But we have to be realistic and understand that some of the stuff that we are getting out is garbage. And also fixing the AI problems requires a lot of time to understand what was developed in the first place. So what I'm saying is that there is going to be a long period of time where we just need to embed these tools. I mean, be patient and be learning, try and make them robust. And at that stage, we'll get the real value from these tools. And I think the real kind of payback, if you like, on these tools. But I think there's definitely going to be a period of time where people are going to suffer from flakiness and just general kind of issues that AI brings around hallucination and poor code, quite frankly, sometimes. And the fact that it can't always fix those issues when they arise. So I think we need to be mindful and cognizant of that.
Got it. Imran, I have seen in 2025 AI has grown a lot, but at the same time, I have seen a lot of layoffs also. Even on LinkedIn, we have seen so many posts, right? And it is open in the industry. So, what are your honest opinion on this one? Do you think it is all of because of AI or something else? What should we do?
I think the layoffs are definitely in part due to AI. You find the big corporations, you can hear on the news, they are laying off a huge amount of the tech resource. At the same time, their profit margins are going through the roof. So, their model seems to be reduce tech resource, replace it with AI, and that seems to be improving and making their process more efficient to generate more sales. So if they're already seeing that and they are realizing this, the investment is only going to get bigger within AI tools and usage. So I think it's only going to get worse, unfortunately. So I think they are largely in part to the AI revolution. And I think the future is sadly a bit uncertain because, of course, the more we use AI means that some people will lose jobs, others will get new jobs, and people who are embracing AI are going to be in a good position comparative to the others. So I'd say it's uncertain times, and I think the AI era is definitely playing at large with all these job cuts.
Okay, so I want to understand from QA point of view, what could be the future of QA in next 2 to 3 years? Because in last 1 year, we have seen a lot of changes within QA also, right? So in 2 to 3 years, what all changes we can expect? Like definitely job cut is one aspect, but there could be some more jobs we can expect like AI tester, something which I'm expecting. I'm also like searching on LinkedIn how QA can switch into next job role with AI. So what do you think on this?
I think first of all, the manual tester, who was very popular 20 years ago, a bit less so with automation. I think that role will phase out
Okay.
over the next couple of years. The only manual testers you're going to have, I think, are ones with very, very bespoke domain knowledge. That's really valuable to certain sectors. But I think other than that, I don't think you're going to see many manual testers. Automation testers are still going to be there, but I think their role is going to evolve heavily with AI usage. So I think they're going to be expected as a norm.
Mhm.
Be able to use a lot of these AI tools. And in fact, I think if they don't use them actively, their jobs could be at risk because a lot of management are currently asking their staff to aggressively adopt and use AI because they understand the benefits and the efficiency with that. So I think teams that are not using it are going to be at risk. Individuals that are not using AI are going to be at risk. And the testers, so I think automation testers are going to be using AI as norm. as a default. And like you said correctly, that there will be a new job role, AI tester. There's two parts to that. One is there could be a tester who just looks at testing LLMs, and that's a whole different type of testing. And then I think more widely, the AI tester, for example, might be able to run a workflow that allows them to go from the requirements all the way to the automation scripts, reports, and bugs, and do that workflow without code. So I think those developments I think will naturally happen over the next period of time.
Fine. Thanks, Imran, for sharing all your thoughts. Before closing this session, I want to do a rapid fire with you. Okay. So, your favorite AI tool? One tool.
Probably Playwright as you are.
Okay. AI or human? Which one is better tester?
At the moment, still human,
Okay.
but give it time and we'll see.
Okay. One personality in QA who inspired you always.
I've had a number of different people that I've really admired and kind of who really kind of taught me a lot. But there's I won't mention names because just it's not probably appropriate. But there was dev manager who was very very cutting edge. So he would basically take on any tool whenever it was available without worrying about admin or red tape. And that kind of approach allowed me to think, like just always just try to keep on making advances within tech because if you don't, then you're always going to be behind. So just try and keep on staying ahead by learning, even if it's difficult and sometimes demanding.
Okay. The last one, your favorite conference so far?
So I attended a good one recently. Rahul Shetty's one. That was pretty good on
Yes,
AI. So
I guess.
you learn a lot of AI concepts and topics and things, and that was good to attend.
Great. Thanks for sharing all the learnings and all your views with us. I'm hoping when audience will start like watching this episode, they will learn more about AI and they will start using AI in their daily testing activities. Thank
A
you.
pleasure.